Hello and welcome to our episode of Joyful Habits. We're going to get to see today two new sisters who are going to profess their vows and enter into our religious community. You're going to get to see a day in the life, hear some testimonies, and see our mission. What is our call to action here within the church? So come along with us on the journey and welcome to our home as we make our way to heaven together.
Feel so humbled to be able to be called and to present myself publicly, to become a sister, to become a daughter of Mary, Help of Christians. When God calls us, He really pursues us, and there's no way that I can respond but with praise and gratitude. And I think that's the one beautiful thing about our institute too, that we are an institute that Don Bosco called to be a living monument of gratitude.
There was a hunger in me to continue my faith. It was a time where I went to church seeking a place of home. And it was at college where I aligned myself with friends and with a prayer group that drew me closer to Him. And seeing peers worshiping and praying the rosary, it really left an impact on me. Today is the culmination of that yes, where I publicly say to the whole world that I am His and I want to be His light in the world.
For all the young women who are discerning, really St. Mary Mazzarello's words, take courage. Take courage to take that step. Trust in Him, know that He's got you. Really, He has such good plans for you. And to respond with that yes, and He'll take care of the rest. Mary is such a beautiful mother who wants to accompany us along the way.
For anybody considering what God has for His plan for you, know that His plan is so good. We can try to come up with explanations, we can try to figure it out on our own, but in the end, God has a beautiful plan for each and every one of you. And if we give Him a chance, He's going to take us for a beautiful ride. And it's not to say that the ride is a bed of roses. It's not. When we love, we embrace the cross, and that cross sometimes means suffering, sometimes means hardship, but we love in response to His love for us. So if you are open, if you trust, if you allow Him to just carry you on this journey and give Him a chance to surprise you, you're gonna be in for something beautiful, because again, God loves us so incredibly, and He's gonna take us on the plan that's meant for our lives.
My name is Sister Valeria Jimenez, but I go by Sister Val.
My name is Sister Claire Ramos.
My name is Elizabeth Stark. I am in my second stage of formation. I'm going into my third year, so I am currently a postulant.
My baptismal name is Sister Alejandra Treviño Fernandez.
When I really got to a point in my life and I asked the Lord what it was that He wanted of me, I felt him calling me to be his. And as scary as it was, I knew that he was calling me to become a sister. And honestly, I didn't even know what that meant either. And that's where my discernment journey began.
I wanted to serve something that was bigger than myself, a cause or anything. And, you know, my family was very strong in the faith, from my grandparents all the way down to my parents, and they passed it on to us. And I always had a great love for the church, for the faith, and even just teaching. I used to teach, help in the confirmation program when I was in high school, and also became a catechist once I was in college. So it's always been something within me, and I always just wanted to help people know about Jesus and his love for them, which a lot of people have forgotten. And so I just want to remind them that Jesus loves you.
For me, the decision to seriously think about it and to enter pretty much happened for me in high school. I had a very good priest that started to guide me and saw that vocation in me, and so he started to cultivate that when I was an 8th grader. And then 8th grade through 12th grade is when I was learning how to pray. I was making time for personal prayer, stopping by the church. I'd just ride my bike and go to the church and really think about offering my life to God. And that was something that made my heart feel full in a way that nothing else I was trying was doing. So it was in high school that I pretty much made the decision. I entered a year after high school instead of going to college. Gave it a shot, and I'm still here.
It's honestly just totally divine providence in how he lined up everything in my life, leading me here. Just from the very beginning, like I can remember times when I was a kid, and he had just already placed that desire in me to work with young people, to teach, to serve. And so just all my life, I can see exactly how everything has been leading me to here.
When I was in 3rd grade, my religious teacher was a sister from another congregation, Daughters of Mary Immaculate of Guadalupe. And I saw the joy that my teacher, this sister, that she had, and I told myself when I grow up I want to be like her. Although I ran away from it later on for many, many years, because I would say no, that was something I said in 3rd grade and that was it. But that was the first time that I thought about it, when I saw her joyful spirit, how close she was with all of us, and being very patient for me to learn the creed and all of the prayers. And I think I admire that from her.
I entered in 2018. I was actually the first group of candidates that entered here at the Provincial House. And to me, it was like the most beautiful experience, seeing so many elderly sisters. I think to me that was like one of the things that drew me in the most. And I had 5 companions. We were 6 in total. One discerned out, one extended one of her years in formation, and then the three of us made a first profession in 2022. Yeah, we made profession in 2022, and it was beautiful. I think our charism does such a great job in transitioning us into religious life, learning to slowly detach ourselves from the world, because, well, that's where we've always lived, and it's a transition, and our sisters do such a great job in accompanying us and walking with us.
Yes, I learned how to sew and crochet. I know that's like maybe kind of cliche, but honestly, I didn't think when I entered that I would be learning that, but I did, and it's actually a really cool thing to learn, because you can make little cute things and hats or gloves. I've also learned how to play volleyball, like the right way, versus like, oh, I'm just gonna fake my way through it. But we got into a competition one time in the diocese, and we're just like, what? We don't even know how to play volleyball. Like, my whole group didn't know how to play, so they taught us how to play volleyball. But it was really fun. Those are just some skills. And then I've definitely developed my cooking skills as well, which I am very grateful for because I had none before I entered. But it's been great. You learn so many things, and yeah, you learn that you can do things you never thought you could do.
There have definitely been a lot of moments that I did not expect to ever be doing that in the convent. One of them is pickleball. I learned how to play pickleball this past year, which was a lot of fun. Yeah, definitely learning a lot about cooking and cleaning. I did not know how to, I'm cleaning everything from hand washing clothes to, you clean everything in the convent, so.
This is the first time I'm doing this is the kitchen. There's many times in where that is the most used phrase that I use. This is the first time I'm doing this, and then I cook following either a recipe or just using the ingredients that we have in the fridge, because that's something that I've learned to do here. We open the fridge, see what we have, look at the pantry, see what we have, and use what we have, and that's not something that I was used to or that knew how to do in a creative way, and that is what I've learned most here.
Some great things that I've experienced while I'm here. So I've gotten to live here in this house for a year for candidacy. We entered the COVID year. So while I lived here, when it was my first year of formation, first of all, we weren't doing anything. And we spent the first 2 weeks up in our room for quarantine because it was still the super unknown time. No one knew what the illness was or how it worked or how scared we should be, that kind of a thing. So we spent the prescribed 2 weeks in quarantine up in our rooms. So when we came down, we'd been here for 2 weeks, but never leaving the third floor in our room. So we came down, we come through the hallway like, whoa, look at all these statues. Oh my gosh, there's sisters everywhere. But we had been upstairs the whole time. And it was kind of a wild experience. I felt like a little fish when they put them in the bag and get them used to the tank, and then they release the fish into the tank. That's kind of how it felt. And we just had a lot of adventures from there.
Something that I did not expect, and I guess I won't, it's not really regarding myself, but it's regarding my family. And it's not just my story, but I've seen it with so many others of how it truly is amazing to see that Mary does take our place at home. Our families give us to the Institute, and Mary takes our place. And it's true because we see this growth of love and devotion of our families, and I think I could say that for myself, for my family. And I guess in regardings to myself, I did not know how much deeper and closer I could grow in my relationship with God, but also with Mary. I felt coming in like I sort of, knew a lot of things, but in reality, I knew nothing. And it's a whole learning process, but the beauty about this life is that we're always learning.
Sure, it's a lot of, you spend a lot of time together, just being here in community. It's basically your family. So just you develop those relationships through dialogue, through doing simple things like chores together, or talking with each other, playing the Uno card games, board games. Sisters are really competitive. That is also one thing I learned is how competitive sisters can be. And there's really no in between. They're either really competitive or they're just not competitive. But yeah, it's just really fun playing games, talking, doing work together. These are different ways that we build community with each other.
A practical thing I didn't expect to learn while living here was that there is an upside down way to put a napkin when you fold it. I did not know that, so when you fold it into a triangle, there's going to be a little 1/4 inch because it's not a perfect square. You make sure that that isn't visible. Didn't know that there was an upside down to napkins. But on a more spiritual, deeper sense, something that I didn't expect was the amount of love that I would experience from people so diverse from me. I mean, you grow up in a family, you grow up in a culture, so you just kind of get used to these people will accept me, these kinds of people will like me or think I'm funny or whatever. But coming to the convent, just diverse backgrounds, diverse ways of thinking, ways of doing things. And so recognizing there was a deeper source of love there, where it went deeper than all of these superficial things, as beautiful as they are. You know, culture, language, upbringing are superficial in a sense. When you realize, hey, there's a deeper love that can even go deeper than that reality, and that was something that I wasn't expecting.
In the initial stages of formation, we're with a cohort or a group, and we're called companions. So getting to be with my companions, getting to bond with them in a special way, because we take classes together, we serve in ministry together. We're together almost all the time, sometimes paired up to cook or do chores, go on outings. So that's, how we bond as companions, just all that time that we really get to spend together, and especially in prayer. Like, we'll have dedicated moments to share in Lectio Divina and just get to know each other in a deeper way. With the sisters that I've been with in community, honestly, it's recreation and at table during meals. That's really when we get to bond, we get to know each other. You just get to kind of relax and just be yourself and get to see all of the sisters in the total beauty of their person. Their little quirks, such as their competitiveness or just little tendencies, and then also just the depth and beauty of their person and how you get to see their heart, what inspires them, what motivates them, and just really where the Lord is touching and working through them.
Where I live, and we call it, even though it's a convent, we call it a home. This is our house, and it's truly a beautiful place of a lot of love shown in many different ways. So you will see somebody carrying something for another sister, or even for a person that brings donations, welcoming, asking the question, have you eaten yet? Offering help in any way. It's truly, a lot of love in showing, like, just diverse, like everybody has their love language in a sense. Like, some tell you a word of affirmation of like, hey, you're doing a great job, or thank you for doing, like bringing this to the other sister, or thank you for reading at Mass. It can be different things, but this is a house of very, like, a community full of love. That's how I could describe, like, the sisters and how everybody interacts with each other. And the beautiful thing is with these different ages, different places that we're from. So it's not a very common house in a sense, but God unites us and makes us truly, like, see our differences in a different light. And I love that about our house and our communities. Yeah.
I would probably tell a young woman, if you don't go and experience it yourself, you will never know. We don't want to live with that ache in our heart of the what if. And so I would say that take some time to visit a congregation. There's a lot of what we call come and sees, not just for my congregation, but many. Develop your relationship with Christ and seek the sacraments as much as you can.
Do not be afraid. It is scary, and we're also almost always looking for that certainty in order to make that next step. But a lot of times you're not going to get it. He wants you to take that leap of faith. And if he is calling you to this life and he's calling you to explore it, then I would just say, just take it, take that jump, because he's going to catch you. And it's going to be an adventure. Like JPT said, life of Christ is an adventure, and it always is. I've been in this I just professed my vows again for the 4th time. I was in formation 4 years before that. So it's like, I'm starting my 8th year here in religious life. And I can tell you, I've not been bored for 8 years.
To any young women who are thinking about religious life and maybe aren't sure about it, definitely pray and look for peace. Look for where is my heart happy, and If your heart is not happy when you're around sisters, or if you're just not at peace, if you're in conflict, like, okay, don't try it. Like, God's probably not calling you there. But if there's even a shred of, I feel at peace here, if there's even a piece or a like slight inclination of what if, you will always regret it if you don't try. Because you can enter and you can leave. And there have been several young women who have done that, and I mean, they're happy and they don't regret the time that they spent with the sisters. They actually are super grateful for all that they learned and all the connections that they made. So just know you will always regret it if you don't try.
For any person discerning their vocation, I'll say to look for a spiritual guide that can accompany them, and for them to be very close to the Blessed Sacrament in adoration, and also to the sacraments of communion and reconciliation. But to be at peace in asking that question, I do feel that we all have to ask that question: where do you want me to serve you, and how do you want me to serve you? And regardless of if it's the vocation of marriage or religious life or single life, God will open the doors, and He will also close a lot of doors. So in closing the doors, He will open the one that is going to the vocation. So to ask questions and to be receptive and looking for, okay, like I'm open to your will, not my will. So, and to do what God is asking them at that time and place. So for example, if they are in elementary school, God is asking them for obedience to parents, like to saying yes to whatever they're asking in school. If it's high school, like anything, like to do what God is asking them at that point in life. And it looks different for everybody, but and every age, right? But yeah, those will be my words about discernment and asking, yeah, God.
For young women who are curious or thinking about this kind of life, I'd have to say that you have to take the courage to admit that to yourself. I remember the first time that I said it out loud to someone, I think I'm called to be a sister. And it was a college student that was ministering to us high schoolers. It wasn't a family member or a friend or someone I knew very well. But that courage of finally saying it out loud gave me the courage to start the journey and make those next little steps of saying it to my priest, letting him walk me through the process, looking up different orders on the internet, finding out I love working with kids. And God's called me to be a sister that does that. Not just any sister because I like the color of the habit or something. It's something inside. What are you called to do? Who are you called to become? And you're not going to discover who that is until you take that first step of saying, I think I'm called to do this. So make the first step and find someone that you can share it with.
Thank you for watching and for praying for vocations. If you are interested in discerning your vocation or would like more information, our website is salesiansisterswest.org. We'd be happy to have you come and visit, and we're praying for you. Please pray for vocations, because it's with your prayers and your support that many holy vocations are being able to come into the church. God bless.